So I've been involved in tennis for pretty much 27 years, ever since I was about 5 years old. Played USTA, juniors growing up, went to a couple national competitions in high school, played in a great high school team in Providence, Rhode Island at the Moses Brown School. From there, I used that to head to the University of Richmond and play Division I tennis for a couple years, which was a great experience. Was part of an Atlantic 10 championship team that then went on to the NCAA tournament. On the side of that, I did a lot of teaching at a summer camp up in Vermont and a couple local country clubs. And then after college, I took my professional career into the tennis world as well, where I worked for a company called Grand Slam Tennis Tours. We would do travel packages to some of the major events like Wimbledon and the French Open and US Open, etc. I got to teach alongside some former Grand Slam champions, where I learned a lot. While I was up there, I also coached a local high school team in Stowe, Vermont for a couple of years. And while I was there, I also went back to grad school to try to get into higher ed, and that kind of led me to Endicott, where I kind of combined both worlds with my tennis and my academic background, and coming here and being able to coach Endicott for the last couple of years, and hopefully for the foreseeable future, where I can take the team to new heights and also help out student athletes in the classroom as well with some academic support. So the women's team at Endicott has had a pretty storied history. For a long time in the mid-2000s, kind of, they did consistently well in the conference tournament. They'd make it to the quarters, or the semis, and even the finals. Couldn't quite get over that hump. And then for the first time in 2008 or 2009, they won the conference title for the first time. And then did the same thing a couple years later in 2011, at which point I took over the program after that. And the last 2 years, we've been able to win the conference title both years. And for the first time in school history, advanced both teams to the second round of the NCAA tournament. I obviously inherited a great group of women, brought a couple in as well to help out the team. One thing that's been key for us is playing a very disciplined style of tennis, which kind of makes us impervious to different challenges that other teams might face. It doesn't really matter where we play. The last few years, we've managed to go on the road to Nichols College and win the conference championship there in front of, as far as college tennis goes, a pretty hostile environment, so that's felt great. And then, same thing with the NCAA tournament, going to a neutral site and playing teams that are equal to us and being able to rise to that occasion and win the first round has been really special the last couple of years. So obviously, within the next couple of years, we want to, as the teams raise the bar every few years, that's what we want to continue to do. So instead of just making it to the second round, we want to start competing to make it to the third round and even the fourth round, becoming a regionally ranked team in the ITA rankings, having more players go to big individual tournaments and having great results. For example, last year we went to the ITA regionals for the first time. Took 2 players, and one of our co-captains was able to get a great first-round win over a player from Tufts University. So that was obviously a big win for her and for the program. And this year specifically, the 2014-2015 season, we're going to look to win a 4th straight conference title, 3rd straight with me as coach. We haven't graduated anybody from last year's team. So we should be in a great position to do that. There are going to be some teams in conference that are certainly challenging, but hopefully we rise to that occasion. And going forward, we're looking to bring in, a solid recruiting class to replace a couple seniors that we're going to just certainly miss. But with the next few recruiting classes, we're hoping to elevate the program, not only continue on what we've been doing, but also raise the bar as well. The women the last couple of years have been great to work with. They're a really hard-working bunch. They work hard on the court and off the court as far as their training goes, and it breeds a healthy level of competition and friendship, which I think is great for the team. Obviously, tennis isn't as much of a team sport as some others. It's a very individual sport, but they work together to push themselves to get better and raise the bar of the program, whether that's, like I said, on the court or in the gym. Early morning off-season conditioning sessions they do great at. Overall, like I said, the culture is one of hard work during practice. We're not out here for 3 hours like you might be at a Division I program. We're out here for a solid 90 minutes to 2 hours, and they really work their hardest for that entire time. That's what I ask of them, and that's what they give to me, and as a result, we've been able to make a lot of progress with the players we have in-house, and hopefully, like I said, bring in some new recruits over the next couple of years and continue to raise the level of the program. My coaching philosophy at a D3 school, which is a little bit different than my playing was when I played Division I, is the way I like to think about things is I think we're on a Division III timeline. I tell all the recruits we're not going to be on the track for an hour and a half in the morning and then at practice for 3 hours and then the gym for an hour and a half. Our time frame is shorter. We don't demand as much time. I want you guys, everybody, to have time for their studies, to be a college student, etc. So what I ask is when we are at practice, even if it's just for 90 minutes to 2 hours, pretend it's a D1 program. Dedicate yourself with that mental and physical work ethic, and the team will go far. So Endicott as an institution academically obviously demands a fair chunk of your time. It's academically rigorous. We have a big internship program, which every student takes part in. So the recruits I'm looking for are going to want to attack everything, whether it's on the tennis court or in the classroom with their internship. And they have to find the balance to be able to do that, which every woman on the team so far has. Not to toot our own horn, but we've got the highest GPA on campus in terms of athletic teams, which is great. So it just shows that the women are dedicated to both their academics and their athletics. A lot of my players in the past have done internships in and around Boston. Some people have worked at the Boston Red Sox, other people have worked in hotels around the area if they're a hospitality major, which is one of the majors we offer that a lot of schools don't. And at the end of the day, being a Division III athlete, we definitely are able to find balance for you. Our playing season is about 19 weeks long, which is about half the school year, which means that outside of that, you have plenty of time to devote to academics, and even in playing season, we've got plenty of time to find balance for you as well. The way I look at things for the current student athletes and any recruit is while you're at school, academics has to come first, then your athletic team, and then the rest of college, the social aspect of college. And if you're making big sacrifices to your grades for your sport, then you probably need to rethink things. And if you're making big sacrifices to your sport for your social life, then you also need to rethink things. But at the end of the day, every tennis player that's come through here has been able to get very good grades while getting better at tennis and having a fun time as well.